This all begins by establishing a world encompassing every conceivable race, from ordinary humans to mythical dragons and all variations between. Currently, all races are engaged in conflict against the demonic queen. Nevertheless, despite the combined might of all races arrayed against her, a demonic army led by its queen is readily overwhelming all opposition. The fighting was so bad that humans started giving up. It was during this growing war that Elizabeth, the most powerful demon queen ever, became the ruler of the world and everyone in it. Right then, as she sits on the throne, a priest talks to her. Elizabeth, don't think you've won. Later on, our hero will show up and totally beat you. One of her helpers comes over and kicks him in the head, telling him to respect the queen. This helper of hers is a human who was trained to be the hero. But he turned against everyone. He changes into a demon and goes toward the priest to kill him. But right away, the queen tells him to stop and asks the priest, "What's this talk about a hero and a prophecy that says the queen will lose? You dirty human, tell me what this means. There are more than 1,000 awful ways to hurt you worse than killing you." The priest says that the prophecy tells that when a hero shows up and pulls out the sword stuck in the ground, that'll be the day humans beat the demons and take back the earth. The sword's there in the main hall. If you want, go look. She goes there, stares at the sword, and thinks, when the warrior pulls this out, I'm gonna die. Interesting. We'll see when that happens. Then she gets her whole army ready for when this big hero shows up. A year goes by. Then 2 years go by. Then 3 years go by. 4 years, and there's barely anyone guarding the castle gate anymore. 15 years later, where's the hero who still hasn't shown up? Things in the city have even gone back to normal. Everyone's living together peacefully. Trolls, lizards, humans, elves, all living in peace. And because of this, most people don't even want the hero to come back. They're worried because they know if the hero comes back, there's gonna be a war. Lots of people will die, and they'll have to build everything up again. There's even a group against the hero coming. Nobody wants the hero to show up. In the hall, the queen asks, "Does anyone have any news about this guy who hasn't come to kill me?" The elf tells her she's talked to all the trees, plants, and bugs on the whole planet. Nobody knows where this supposed hero is. The dwarf says he's clueless and can't find anything out. But none of the weapon shops or blacksmiths anywhere have heard of the hero. The trader who's now speaking for humans says he doesn't even think they need to worry about it anymore. The hero probably doesn't stand a chance against the queen now. But the bull demon, who's on his side, warns him. Be careful. The queen isn't afraid of the prophecy. She wants the prophecy to happen. She wants the hero to come here and fight her. You better not talk about it too much because she's been annoyed for 15 years. The elf says, actually, this prophecy is probably fake and this hero doesn't even exist. Just then, the guy who warned the queen about the hero coming to kill her walks in holding a sign from the No Hero Allowed group. The guy looks totally different. The queen, furious, grabs him with her dark hand and asks, "Didn't you say there was going to be a hero from a prophecy who'd come and pull out this stupid sword? Where is he?" Her biggest fan says, "Actually, you're so strong that the prophecy didn't even work because humans couldn't make anyone as powerful as you." The queen's helper agrees with him. "That's right, my amazing queen. You don't have to worry about this hero at all anymore. He doesn't stand a chance." But he gets a hard slap across the face with a thick tail. The queen shoves the priest against the wall and says, "Where is this stupid hero? I've become the best in the world, but I need to kill him. Otherwise, everyone will think I'm scared of the prophecy. Where is this idiot?" Sheegan says she studied all the powers on this planet to learn world-ending magic, just to fight him. But where is he? She then stares at the sword and says, "Fine then, since you won't come to me, I'll come to you." And she starts trying to pull the sword out. Everyone watches in horror, saying, "Your Majesty, don't do it! You'll die! That sword was made to kill you!" Energy starts exploding everywhere. The queen is sweating, and everyone starts flying around, having to protect themselves. She uses another burst of power and blows up the whole castle, but she pulls out the Sword of Prophecy. Who said only the hero could pull this out? Just then, she can feel who the sword is calling to, and she starts looking all over the planet, finally stopping at a little house, a small farm in the middle of nowhere. And she says, "So this is where you've been hiding?" Then she teleports herself there. Her people beg, "Please, your majesty, don't go. Let us serve you, Queen Elizabeth." Then we see what's happening at that little farmhouse. A boy is there calmly wearing a straw hat, wiping sweat off his face and saying, farming is so peaceful. And he really is the legendary hero. We see what his life was like before he was reborn. He was a guy who worked all day and barely had any hobbies. He didn't play video games or read anything. The only thing he liked to do was watch farming videos on his way to work. And he always thought, man, if I could live a life like this, just farming and without any worries, that would be amazing. And then he ended up in this world. The system for beginners taught him basic survival stuff, like using some weapons and how to hunt. And he really liked it. This was the farmer life he always wanted, but then the system started giving him warnings. "Congrats, hero, you finished the beginner stuff. You can start your adventure now." But he thought, why start the adventure? It's so peaceful here on my farm. I don't feel like it. The system said, after you leave the beginner area, you'll meet lots of people. You'll learn skills and magic. You'll learn how to use a sword and get stronger. And when you become the legendary hero, you'll kill the demon queen. Please start your adventure now. But he thought, I don't want to kill the demon queen. Let her be. I just want to stay here and live peacefully. But the system kept saying, no, 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 you can't do that. The demon queen is eliminating everyone. Please start the adventure. Start the adventure. Every day it kept bothering the main character with this message, but he soon figured out that the system couldn't do anything but complain. So he decided to live there forever. Since it's the beginner village where the hero starts, it has a protective barrier to help people survive at first. So the place can't be found, and time there goes by differently to help the hero get stronger. The days are much longer. He can plant, hunt, make things with metal, and meditate all in the same day. Sure, he still doesn't know anything about swords or magic, but that's not important. He doesn't want to leave anyway. He'll just stay there living his simple, peaceful farming life. But then one day, the system got mad and started yelling at him, saying he was just wasting points on farming stuff. It said that was shameful. It was a disgrace to the system. He was brought there to kill the demon queen. With that, the system broke down and vanished. Since then, he hasn't gotten any more messages, and life became even more peaceful. He's out collecting things another day, saying it's time to eat. He realizes he left his little axe in the forest, so he has to go back. But just then, the sky started getting dark and energy gathered in the air. The main character thought, oh no, not now. At the same time, the queen appeared in the sky, saying, I've finally found the legendary hero of all prophecies. Our hero was running, because he left some clothes and fish on the clothesline. If it rained, everything would get wet and ruined. As he took everything off the line, he felt relieved. Thank goodness I got here in time. If it had rained, my fish would have gotten wet, and my clothes too. I wouldn't even have anything to wear tomorrow. Just then, a mechanical dog next to him starts barking. The main character tells it to go inside because it's going to rain, but the little dog nods, telling him to look up. Our hero thought, what's that up there? The queen, hearing this, gets annoyed. What do you mean by calling me a thing? He realizes she's getting angry and apologizes. I couldn't see very well. You're pretty far away. The queen decides to see if he's really the hero and sends something toward him. When it gets to him, it's the sword. It circles around him and goes right into his hand. So, that proves it, right? He's the hero, but our hero is really scared. He doesn't even want the sword. He tells her, "Take it back. I don't want this thing." The queen, seeing that he doesn't even want the sword, gets annoyed, thinking, is he hiding his real power? I, Elizabeth, the strongest demon queen ever, will destroy you. The main character is terrified and annoyed because the system said it was impossible for anyone to find him there. The little dog keeps barking at the demon queen, and the main character finally understands. Following the prophecy, it was going to happen eventually. So, there's not much else to do. He drops the sword and walks back to his house like he's accepted what's going to happen. I'm going to die anyway, so I'll at least die peacefully in my house. I've never practiced anything. I don't know anything about swords. I don't know any magic, so I'll just lie down in this bed and get blown up. But the queen saw it completely differently. She thought he was saying he didn't even need to defend his house, that his little dog was enough to take her on, and that she should attack him with everything she had. She definitely didn't like that. This annoying hero is so arrogant. She immediately sends a bunch of meteors toward the house. But the little dog starts figuring out her power. It gets ready and fires a bunch of missiles at her, stopping all the meteors. Seeing that, the queen thinks, I didn't think the great hero of legends would be so arrogant. Are you really going to depend on a fancy magic tool that can think for itself? But when I'm around, everything is weaker. The sky then turns purple, and she gets ready to use a huge attack, saying she's done playing around. But the little dog does the calculations again, makes a black ball, and sends it toward her attack. She tells it to stop being disobedient because that attack was supposed to destroy the whole continent. But when the little black ball touches her attack, it turns into a black hole. It sucks up all of the queen's power, vanishes right away. Looking at the house, she's confused, thinking, what? Did my magic just disappear? What did he do in that house? The main character is inside, lying on the bed, just waiting to die. The queen then comes down from the sky to fight the little dog. It seems I underestimated you, didn't I? She uses all her power, saying, now it's going to be at 100%. The little dog gets ready with its missiles again, and there's a huge explosion. Meanwhile, the main character is still asleep. After a while, he wakes up wondering, am I dead already? Nope, not yet. What's going on? That's weird, I'm still at home. Let me look outside. He slowly reaches for the doorknob. He's scared to open the door and see the queen waiting to kill him, so he just peeks outside. And there she is, holding the broken little dog. The main character calls the dog's name, and the queen says mockingly, oh, I'm so sorry, but I had to completely destroy this little magical toy you were so proud of. The main character is scared and says, can't we talk about this, queen? The queen answers, of course, right after I kill you. But inside, she's thinking about how unbelievable everything is. How did that little toy make me use all my power? Is this the end for me? And then she faints and falls to the ground. Our hero runs to help her, asking if she's okay. Then her magical armor starts to disappear. Everything covering her begins to fade away. And our hero, of course, gets a nosebleed, like always. Later that night, she wakes up in bed, handcuffed. As soon as she sees this, she thinks, damn it, how did I, the legendary Queen Elizabeth, the strongest of all time, get beaten so easily? And the worst part is, instead of killing me, he just locked me up. He did all this just to show off his power. She tries to break free but can't and thinks, damn it, another amazing magical item I've never even heard of. Just how much power is this legendary hero hiding from me? She looks around, seeing chess pieces and playing cards, and thinks, I've never seen any of this stuff here before. This hero is way more cunning than I thought. I really messed up by underestimating him. Just then, our hero walks into the room with some snacks. She looks at him and says, "Fine, if you're going to kill me, just do it. Don't expect me to beg." But our hero is just thinking about how annoying the queen is. She's too much. This is the only way I'm going to survive. So he tells her, "Can't we talk? These handcuffs I put on you were just in case because I'm really scared of you." The queen is a bit confused, thinking he's looking down on her. He says, "I think we, misunderstood each other. I'm going to take these handcuffs off so we can talk calmly, okay?" But she's hearing something completely different. "I'm sorry if you didn't realize from the start how different we are, thinking you were strong enough to fight the hero, okay? I'm letting you go now so you understand you're powerless and you're going to do everything I say." She thinks, "This jerk, how dare he threaten the demon queen?" He then says, "Okay, I took the handcuffs off to show you I can't do anything to you. Got it? Let's talk." The queen is frustrated. "Damn it, I underestimated him way too much even though I'm so strong. I guess I have to know when I'm beaten, but he'll pay for this arrogance later." Our hero leaves the room, shaking, and says, "Go get some rest now." He looks at us and says, "You're probably wondering why I didn't just kill the demon queen, but I read in books from this world that demon queens always come back to life right after they die. So, if I kill her, she'll just be back. The only way to fix this is to end the conflict for good. There can't be any more fighting between the queen and the hero. If I'm not a threat to her, I can become her friend, and we'll live happily ever after." The crazy hero laughs like the Joker. The queen is just thinking, "Damn it, he's still laughing at me." The hero picks up the broken little dog and says, "Hey buddy, you're all broken, huh?" And the queen says, "This magical tool." Our hero thinks, it's not exactly a magical tool. It was just something I made when I was bored, and he tells her, "Yeah, you could say that. It was one of the last things I built." The queen smiles a little, making a plan. "Perfect. This is my chance. He was careless taking off my handcuffs. He let me use my secret magic to heal myself instantly. And now that his robot isn't protecting him, I have the advantage. Time to kill you." She says, "Sorry for breaking your stuff, great hero." But he replies, "Don't worry about it. It's okay." His memory card is still here behind him. This is perfect. I'm going to finish off the legendary hero. Just then, our hero says, "Luckily, I have 6 more of these little guys ready. So, you don't have to worry about that." The queen is speechless. He puts the memory card in, and the little dog turns on, happy, jumping around, and licking him. The hero tells her, "I like having company, but they can be messy sometimes. So, I just keep one active where I can see it." This was all a plan to embarrass her. She sees his weird smile. She falls back on the bed, completely confused. There's no way. This is impossible. Suddenly she smells something and says, "What's that smell?" He says, "I saw you passed out, so I made a little meal to warm you up. It's all ready, made with the stuff he grows on the farm. Because he's been farming for so long, his farming skill is maxed out." The queen looks at the food and says, "Why did you do this? I don't need to eat. I'm beyond that." But she smells the food and starts to feel hungry. Our hero says, "I grew all these vegetables and grains myself. Please try it." He just wants to settle things with food. She's still unsure, but she decides to try it. She's speechless. The main character thinks, "Even though I've been cooking for years, will my food be good enough for a demon queen?" She takes another bite, then another, and another, thinking, "Each bite is like fireworks exploding in my mouth. And the flavor is so natural, but it still has so much magical energy. Who knew there were foods in this world that could please even a demon queen? I can't stop eating it." Just then, she feels something burning inside her and complains that it's too spicy. Our hero looks scared and says that he only added a little chili, which the hero likes. Can't the demon queen handle spicy food? The queen is suffering and thinking, of course, this hero wasn't going to be nice. He's trapping me. He's using me for experiments. He brings her some soup, saying it will help with the burning. She stares at it and thinks, he poisoned me, and now he's giving me the cure. I'm completely at this hero's mercy. This is so uncomfortable. Suddenly she feels a powerful sensation, almost like ascending to heaven, with the taste of the meat still in her mouth. The war between the demon queen and the hero. None of that matters anymore. I'm going to forget everything and live quietly because I finally realize how small I am. The food has so much magical energy that it even makes her stronger. Confused, she looks at him and says, "Stop pretending. What do you want from me?" Our hero, feeling awkward, says, "What do you think? I just wanted to see if a demon queen and a hero could live together." But she understands it differently. In this world, you're the only one worthy of being my research subject. Since I'm the hero, come here. I'll help you get stronger to see if you can beat me someday. Our hero asks, "Are you okay with this? I'll keep making you delicious food." While the queen is freaking out, thinking, a knight might die, but they don't suffer this much humiliation, especially not the demon queen. She's sure the hero's plan is to make her stronger to see if she can ever beat him. Thinking about it, she turns, walks to the bed, stands up straight, and announces, "I agree, but on 2 conditions. First, I'm not doing this because I'm scared of you, but because I want to be the strongest in the world." She continues, "Second, while I'm here, don't think I'll ever bow to you. I will never submit. My dignity as the great queen must never be insulted. If that happens, I'll destroy you, even if it costs me everything." Our hero is embarrassed and says, "Understood, understood. Okay, let's be friends. Let's stay close." She stares at him and says, "It's fine if you want to do your research. And one more thing. If you make anything tasty, give me some." And our hero agrees. A year goes by, and our main character is using the legendary prophecy sword to chop wood. Our hero thinks things have gotten complicated. After the queen barged into the house, he lost the magic that hid it from the world, and the monsters that keep wandering by look pretty dangerous. But since they can sense the queen inside, they don't dare attack. The problem is, he figures he'll probably lose his house as soon as the queen leaves. From inside, the queen yells angrily, "Why isn't lunch ready yet?" The main character thinks, "I can't let her leave. I need her protection." Meanwhile, in the living room, the mischievous queen is watching some good videos, and after eating so much all year, she's gotten a bit chubby. She says, "I'm tired of watching the same stuff. Do you have anything else from that system?" Our hero answers, "I told you the system's gone. Come here, I made lunch." She thinks about getting up, but instead of walking, she makes 2 little wings appear and flies to the table. She looks at the food and says, "What kind of poison is in these potatoes? The more I eat this, the lazier I get." She thinks, "This darn guy is using delicious food to slowly poison me and make me weak, and he's trying to corrupt me with these suggestive videos." Our hero tries to explain, "It's just that these potatoes have a lot of calories. When you eat a lot, you gain weight and get a little lazy." Just then, she looks down at her belly, then uses magic to transform the extra energy into magical power, turning herself into a supermodel. The protagonist is impressed. Can magic be used in this way? She stares at him and says, "Haha, another of your tricks didn't work. Are you disappointed?" Lai Ping tells her, "Yes, I am very disappointed. Now let's eat already." She looks at the table. He says, "Wow, today's food is perfect. I won't hold back," and starts eating. Lai Ping lets some words in the air. As much as she eats a lot, I always manage to go and make more food, right? And besides, I'll have to get used to it anyway, since we're going to live like this for a long time. Her interpretation, of course, is completely different. You're still very weak. I'll have to fatten you up a lot before I kill you. So he gets up and says, "I'll get you a dessert." She, on the other hand, can't stand it anymore, thinking the jerk keeps treating me like a pig, feeding me with these magical foods. I've evolved more than 10 times just this year. It's not possible that now I don't have enough power to challenge him. It's time for the great decisive battle. But right at that moment, our hero already gets the little pudding and says, "Here, your favorite? Here, look!" Her eyes sparkle and she goes all happy to eat. The proto thinks, even though she's the demon queen, she's not very difficult to deal with. You just need the right food. The scene changes to an old man running away with a blonde girl. They are being chased by some creatures in purple cloaks and white masks, who are throwing some powers in their direction until they get trapped in a magic cage and have to stop to fight. It's the father and his daughter. He turns to her and says, "I'll hold them here." He runs to the city and tries to find a safe place. The daughter replies, "I don't want to leave you here and escape alone." But a father retorts, "I promised your mother I would protect you until the end." The creatures are already conjuring a massive magic to attack them. The father then says it's time to use the strongest power of all and sends a slash of white light that cuts the enemy who was conjuring the magic in half. But the guy seems to be made of slime and already reassembles. The daughter tries to shoot an arrow, but her attacks just go through the monsters. The father warns, "There's no way you can help with your arrows. Just run to the city and flee." The monster comes to punch her, but the father manages to defend. But unfortunately, he is thrown far away, hits his back on the rock, and is already all bloody. Almost dying, he says, "Don't come help me, just run away." Then the creatures begin to gather and transform into a giant monster. The daughter says to the monster, "Please, I'll go with you. Just let my father go alive." But at that moment, she feels she's about to die. But suddenly, what seems to be a gigantic mammoth appears, crushing the creature. On top of the gigantic mammoth, there's a house. On top of the house, there's an elder ninja frog leader. And on top of the elder ninja frog leader's head, there's a dog house with the protagonist's little robot. The frog speaks to the dog, "Big brother, what are we going to do with these two harmless humans?" Little dog replies, "Don't hurt them. I'll take them back to the master." In the next scene, the girl is waking up at Lai Ping's house, all confused about what's happening, looking around. She wonders, "Where am I? What happened?" As far as I remember, my father was by my side about to die. She then gets up, rushes to the door, and opens it. When she looks, her father is showing some bodybuilder poses to our protagonist, who asks him, "Wow, how do I get a physique like that?" The father replies, "A warrior's physique is something fundamental. You have to take better care of yourself, my boy," Lai Ping thinks. So this is the so-called warrior profession that I hear so much about. It's amazing. The little dog is all happy walking around the queen, who annoyed kicks him and says, "Who told you to bring these two here to my house? Stupid dog." The little dog gets all sad and starts crying, and our protagonist keeps squeezing the guy's muscles, saying, "Wow, you're so resilient." The father says, "Okay then. If the great Li Ping doesn't mind, I won't hide it either." He then bursts out of his clothes, and our hero just admires, while the daughter is thinking, "Dad, what are you doing there?" Oops. And the queen notices the presence of her daughter, and our guy tries to explain the situation, but the demon queen already goes to her and says, "There, now that you're awake, scram. I'm warning you, I got here first." Lai Ping, trying to calm the situation, says, "Relax. Let's go inside." He then serves some tea and says, "Sorry for not having anything to offer you two. It's a rural place, and I do everything myself, so it's all very simple." The girl asks, "Dad, is this the miraculous potion you talked about that cured you instantly?" Our protagonist is embarrassed. "I think calling this a miraculous potion's a bit exaggerated. It's just a little boil of water with some herbs." The queen is furious on the side, damn it. Why did this dog bring these two weak humans here? Is Li Ping not satisfied with just me? Am I not enough in this house? The father begins to explain the situation, saying that he was completely unconscious and vainly remembers. But he remembers the dog bringing him, and then when he took a sip of the drink, he transcended instantly and was completely healed, becoming stronger than ever, and says, "Daughter,